The deadline for the collection of the permanent voter card, that's the PVC, is less than 24 hours away, and registered voters need the card or their cards to participate in this electoral exercise. Now, some of the opinion that they've gone around to the centers and were not able to find their cards, while some others said they are being told to actually come back on the same day, which is supposed to be the deadline, that's February 8th. Now, how possible is this for these groups of people, as voters now, to actually collect such cards at this close notice? Well, does this development mean that many more numbers of people will be disenfranchised? Well, we hope not. I guess we'll be looking at these issues as we take a strict look at what is to be done with PVCs wherever they are and the people yet to collect their PVCs. My name is Blessing Abu. Welcome to Nigeria Today. In the studio to discuss this, less than 24 hours actually, because by this time on the 8th, I'm sure everyone should know their fate about their card and whether they are with them or not. I'd like to welcome Ebere Ifendu. She is the President, Women in Politics Forum. Welcome to Nigeria Today.
Thank you.
We also have in the studio Mr. Aliu Bello, is the Deputy Director, Publicity with INEC. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
INEC, of course, is Independent National Electoral Commission. Now, let's start with you, Sir Bello. 24 hours or less than 24 hours. But really, how far have we gone with people collecting the PVC so far? We know the process has been ongoing for quite a while, and there have been information reaching out to the public. Please go collect wherever you have registered. What do we know about the numbers so far, and what is exactly happening?
Like you rightly pointed out, that PVC collection will officially be suspended tomorrow, Friday 8th February 2019 at 3 p.m. to be precise, unless some other decisions came up this evening. I think this exercise of PVC collection did not start last week, last month, or even a few months back. It started way back as far as 2017 when the PVC, when the continuous voter registration came about. After every quarter of the continuous voter registration, display of register was carried out, and as soon as the PVC for that quota was ready, people were encouraged to go and collect them. So what is now left is actually, I can say, the last lap of the exercise, at least to permit the conduct of free, fair, and credible elections. I remember it has always been the case that is towards the end of an exercise that you witness people rushing.
Last minute rush.
That's it. Last minute rush. But the Commission has done well by having the exercise and sustaining the exercise for a while. It has been on, and those that are yet to collect still have few hours to ensure that they receive they collect their PVCs, because without PVC, no one can vote.
Okay, but what reports are you getting from the field? Let me stay with you. What are you getting from the centers across the nation?
Impressive. Many have collected. The ones that are yet to collect, I am still optimistic. They have the remaining hours within tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. to ensure they collect.
I'll still come back to you. Let me get a feel from Ebere, because I know people will have raised issues, maybe your women group or some other groups that you are affiliated with. What are the complaints, or what are the constraints for people actually coming to get these PVCs?
Yes, most people complained that when they get to the point where they registered, that they are not able to collect their PVCs. Either the PVCs are not ready, or they are not there for them to pick, and then to identify where to collect their PVCs. But that was taken to INEC, and INEC actually announced that they have moved it from the local government to the ward, to make it easier for people, instead of asking people to go to their local government to pick it. So I think what happened was that most people were not following. There was enough sensitization and talk for people to go to their respective wards. They're taking the PVCs back to the local government. And we have asked
okay, that is from the
women,
wards
from
now.
the ward
They move
now.
them again back to the
Yes,
local government.
yes, because it's closing gradually.
Okay.
So we did a sensitization rally where we actually told women that if you've not picked your PVC, you have to go to your local government to make sure you pick it. Okay. Most people will tell us that they have their TVCs, and we said no, because the card reader cannot read the TVC, so you need your PVC to be able to vote. That we have done with the women. I think, like he said, the problem is that most times, you know, this last minute thing, that people, I am sure by tomorrow, so many people will be going there early enough to pick their PVCs.
Okay, I know it's one thing that we need to talk to people about, leaving so many things undone until the last minute. Yeah. But then at the same time, we cannot still say, okay, we are going to deny those people the right to actually get what's at least a civic duty for them to perform, or at least what is essentially theirs. But what about the officials too? Because there are insinuations of some of the officials not really being helpful, or some of the places. Okay, they can't locate it. This is where it's supposed to have been registered, like she pointed out, now they're being returned to the local government. At least I know I have some colleagues who have actually complained of not even seeing this, and they've been at it for almost a year plus.
Yes. Well, actually, I want to say that, you know, the right thing for them to have done is to raise complaints even while the display was on. Remember, after registration, the permanent voter card was displayed, and it was from that display, registered persons would get to know precise locations where they ought to have collected the PVCs. I hope those complaining are going to the right designations, right places.
At least for those I know, at least for this particular colleagues, I know they've gone to the right place, and they said their names are not even there.
After the register was displayed?
Yes.
Oh, the essence of the display, which took place in November 6th to November 12th, was to allow citizens who have registered to ensure that their names are on the register of voters. If the names are not there, that would have been the time for them to raise issues and make complaints so as to have their names restored on the voter register. But unfortunately, some Nigerians did not take advantage of that exercise. However, now we are more concerned about those that have taken advantage of the exercise and have confirmed the validity of the registrations. And now we are talking about PVC collection, which is, like we said at the beginning, closing by 3 p.m. tomorrow or less otherwise. For now, the idea is
why would you want to peg the time to 3 p.m. when the day is just like halfway for those who will be at work and for those who still want to, okay, let me take it.
We have been running this exercise, including weekends. Including weekends. And this exercise arising from complaints received by public, the commission actually took the PVC distribution to as far as ward level, I mean registration area levels, because as we speak now, the collection is only done at local government area office, but commission took this distribution PVC collection to RA level to encourage and make it easier for people to to collect their PVCs. So I believe everyone that is supposed that ought to have collected his own by now would have done so.
Okay, I'm going to raise another issue. I know, well, it was an unfortunate incident out there. It's one of the southeastern states, if you recall. Yes, and a particular room where these PVCs were said to have been stored was raised by fire. Yes. So what is going to be happening to such groups or likely people who, well, unfortunately,
for now, the commission is looking into that, and I am very optimistic that the commission will not leave any stone unturned to ensure that the franchise of those involved is protected. All the commission is doing and keep doing and doing well is to ensure that persons who registered have their PVCs and access the right to vote.
And they also raised the fact that, okay, they've told some women who thought they could actually do with a temporary voter card. Because one of the some of the news
response. In fact, when she made the announcement,
your job is being on my behalf. In fact, because there are insinuations even on the social media that you could do that.
Temporary voter card cannot stand in place of permanent voter card. The only card that can guarantee citizens the right to vote is the permanent voter card. In fact, the temporary voter card does not have the features which will allow the handshake between the PVC and the card reader. There's on every PVC there is chip, and it is that chip the card reader will have a handshake to identify and recognize all information, and it could bring it out. So any person with PVC, with TVC, temporary voter card, should please use the available time, the available period to the close of this exercise to ensure that they collect their permanent voter card. With TVC, one cannot vote. Only PVC.
No handshake.
No handshake.
Only tumble. Perhaps. Okay. Bello, and also we're going on a break now to actually have a pulse of what the public, as in residents of the FCT, are telling us about the PVCs and what other things we need to do differently. All we want is for people not to be disenfranchised at whatever point in time. So how we get to do this for people to know is what we are doing on the program. And where we still have these large numbers, perhaps you might have such information for us to know, so people at least who have this last minute opportunity to actually get sensitized. You're watching Nigeria Today, and we're looking at the update on the PVC collection. Earlier in the day, our correspondent Ololade Alayaki went to a PVC collection center in FCT to witness the situation. Here's the report.
This is the INEC City Center Ward Collection Unit in Gariki. There are over 50 people here now to collect their permanent voters card. It is barely 24 hours to the deadline of collecting of PVC. Some who have collected their PVC say the process was very easy and are ready to participate in the election.
I'm actually elated. The experience was actually very straightforward, and I actually expected it to be more cumbersome. Even the registration, it was quite straightforward. It didn't take my time, and this is my first time voting in my country like Nigeria, so I'm actually looking forward to the process.
It was easy and didn't take anything out of it. It was just another day, like you just go pick it up. Very easy.
Very easy.
Okay.
And it didn't take up to 2 minutes. It didn't take up to 2 minutes. Okay, so I just presented the temporary and I got my PVC.
While some people who have not gotten their PVC say they need INEC to do something about it.
Process has not been going right because I registered earlier, though I lost my card. When I came to their registration point the other, I think last year, they say I should come in. They say they directed me to come to area 10. That's where my center fall under. I came in there, they checked my name. It was not part of the one that was produced. They said I should come in 2 weeks. I came in 2 weeks again. I should come in another 2 weeks. I've been coming. This is almost about 7 times I'm coming.
Coming to this place, area 10, to collect my voter's card. They say it's not ready. When is it going to be ready?
How many times I've been coming here? They refuse to give us our voter's card, saying it's not here. And tomorrow is closing day. So when are we going to collect? They should give us so that we vote a person of our choice.
Saying is that go and come. They said they are still expecting some PVCs that are yet to arrive. And tomorrow is the last day for the collection. And I believe that there are millions like me that are yet to collect their PVCs.
Sounds more like sour grapes in the mouth of people now. Well, transfer of PVC from one location to another, that people, in fact, a colleague was just whispering in the background, this is what is happening. And several others too who requested for their own to be moved. So what is INEC up to?
They've spoken the obvious, because experience is likely to differ from one person to another. Those that said it was easier for them, they have done the right thing at the right time. Perhaps the few that keep complaining did not do the right thing.
Somebody came like 2 weeks times, 7 times.
I'm not sure whether she's going to the correct place to even confirm the details that about her registration. But so long as the right thing is done at the right time, the Commission keep meeting target and achieving all targets at all times. Well, of course, one or two things might have affected the exercise somewhere, but I wouldn't want to believe that should anything happen, should anything go wrong, it is always the commission that is responsible. The voter that is supposed to have registered and to collect his PVC do have some responsibilities. So they all know that you don't you must do the, or you must complete the process before you access it. Get registered, ensure that your registration, your name is on the register of voters. Then you expect your PVC. Perhaps those that keep going to the to check and cross check, maybe during registration, one or two things have gone wrong, and when the register was displayed, they did not even check. So, in whichever case, I believe when you consider the volume of data the commission processed for Nigerians, at least if a few complaints arise from the exercise, it is just the normal thing.
This is just one center out of a whole lot across the country. So
yes,
I'm sure it's not just a few. What do you think? Should there be an extension? Because from the look of things, a whole lot of people are still...
For the commission, even one voter is important. But I'm not saying if the few voters that complain about the exercise were in the first place did not do the right thing, did not actually provide
doing the right thing. They've done like for those who actually went. Anyway,
let me come in here, sir. Because from what that guy said, he said he's been going there repeatedly for 2 weeks, seven times.
That shows maybe like 14 weeks.
If they are telling him that the PVCs are not ready, it means maybe his name is on the list,
register, definitely,
but they have not produced. Because let me share something with you. Yesterday we were with the INEC chairman, and honestly, he said when they got reports from the streets and everywhere that people were not able to get their PVCs, and they looked into it that he had to instruct for 55,000 more PVCs to be printed. So you can see that at times people will go and their PVCs are not there, and then you don't blame them for not doing the right thing. But I think again, the officers that are in charge should be overwhelmed.
Really?
Yeah, it's not a matter of being overwhelmed. It's a matter of not having information. Because when they tell you that your PVC is not there and give you 2 weeks to come, they should report back to the commission. Like the chairman said, when he got the report, 55,000 PVCs were printed. So I think it's about information, not having the right information to tell the people.
I don't have that information.
Yeah, because we listened to the man.
I don't have that information. Yes. The privileged information you had from chairman.
Well, not privileged,
but
because
I know,
it was an open,
but
open
I know,
discussion.
Yes, of course. But I really don't have that information. So good that you have that information from you, like you said anyway.
Yes.
But I know, whenever the commission produce PVC, the commission doesn't keep PVC anywhere. It takes it to
they don't keep. I'm not saying that they kept it away. I'm saying that most times, you know,
but
those ones are not printed.
What do you think, at least the commission, now, because already the deadline looms, so what is going to be happening to this group of people whose names are on the registers but no PVCs to actually back up the fact that
well, like I said in the beginning, that the commission is now in a meeting, and we expect after the meeting some statement might have made about all of these issues. At the moment, the position remains that PVC collection will be suspended on.
Anyway, while we're looking at the ones that are not even getting their own PVC, there are millions of unclaimed PVCs out there. What is going to be happening to those ones?
All those unclaimed will be quarantined and kept in safe custody. Nobody will abuse them. Nobody will be allowed to accept them until after elections, when the PVC collection will continue.
Do you think people will be eager to collect those ones even after the election, especially for those?
Actually, it's a continuous process.
The validity does not lapse after the 2019 elections.
Exactly.
Even after 2019 election, you still need your PVC to vote in future elections.
Well, let's take a look at what other things to be telling the people. You at least having a women group, and I'm sure reaching out to them has been key for you at this period in time. For those who are yet to still get theirs, and what other means are you using to actually reach out to them, and at least that will suffice for the other Nigerians that are watching us?
Well, like I just said, on Tuesday we had a rally, like I mentioned, in Abuja here, and that also took place in 15 other states. And we used that opportunity to get the women to come out, you know, to participate in the elections, that is to vote. And we also asked those ones that have not been able to collect their PVCs to go and get their PVCs. I understand that the process, like you heard some of them say that they went and it was so easy. You know, like my son, yes, it was his experience. You know, I told him to get ready that he might be spending a long time at the collection center. But he got there, less than 5 minutes, he called me. He said, Mom, I've picked it up.
He's one of the lucky few.
One of the lucky few, you understand. So what it means is that our women, we encourage them. I'm sure by tomorrow, like we use our WhatsApp chat to talk to people and we take it down to the lower, you know, like when we talk to our coordinators, we say get to the women in the grassroots to do that. And then from our investigation, actually, you know, 84,000 PVCs were printed. And it's sorry, million PVCs were printed, and they are having problem of
4,484 citizens have registered.
Yes. And they all have their
names in the registers.
Yes, and they all have their PVCs printed. But the issue of collection is about 4 million or a little above 4 million, and so I'm sure it won't affect the election. But at the same time, it's good for everyone
over 70
to go
million have yet to collect. That's what you're saying?
No, 4 million. 4 million.
Yet to collect. Yes. Okay, so the other number, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but
that's
I know that
numbers.
From what I know,
4 million voters to a particular party.
People should actually make an effort.
Each time
people should actually
need to qualify it because the collection is on continuous basis.
That's what I'm telling you.
So the number of uncollected PVCs.
We can't even. So
what is the number? What is
no, it's after today. After tomorrow, rather.
After the exercise, we will now come up with a figure of the PVCs.
But where do you have the highest number of people that haven't not collected? At least you've been working.
Well, I really don't have the statistics at the moment. I wouldn't lie. I wouldn't say these are the areas that are yet to collect. But I know that after the close of exercise, we will have good data to share with Nigerians.
Yes.
Okay. So what invariably, because I still want to clarify that people can still go collect these PVCs even after the election.
Yes.
That is the position, because you need these cards even after the 2019 elections. Subsequent elections that will take place after 2019 elections will still be, yes, the PVC is the only item that you need to tender at polling unit to access your right to vote.
Yeah, but at the same time, people who want to participate in this election, you know, should also be given the opportunity to vote. And that's where, you know, for somebody like me, I will say that we extend, you know, this collection date. Why am I saying this? It's ending 3 p.m. like you said, tomorrow, Friday. Most people will be at work. But if we can extend it to
markets,
extend it to like Saturday, Sunday, you know, give people an opportunity. People are coming from outside the country to be part of this. So many of them may have booked their, you know, flights to get in maybe today, maybe tomorrow, you never can say. But at the same time,
are they part of the last minute rush?
well, I mean, if you're coming back to participate in elections and you're coming from outside the country, you're not expected to come and spend 2 weeks.
Well, he has assured us that meetings are ongoing and extension is possible. Isn't that what you've just said?
Extension is possible. I said the commission is meeting over a lot of issues, including this. Perhaps if there is statement by commission, we will come back and share with you.
Okay. All right. We'd like to thank Mr. Liu Bello, Deputy Director Publicity with INEC. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
Also like to appreciate Ebere Fendu, President Women in Politics Forum. Thank you very much for sharing your time with us again today. And thank you too for watching. That's Nigeria Today for today. You can actually watch this episode online or any other one at all at youtube.com/NTA News 24 Hub. Thank you for watching. My name is Blessing Abu. Have a great evening.